Hello students, welcome you all to Sunya IAS. I hope your preparation is going very good. You are on the track. You are tracking all your static portions, test series and the bread and butter of your preparation, current affairs. For that, the Sunya IAS has launched a free initiative for you so that you can understand what are the high yielding topics for the examination and you can basically revise with us. Okay, so while you have read the current affairs, you can revise here. And for the if you want a detailed analysis of the current affairs with a proper organized coverage, you can join the current affairs crash course. The program is live right now. You can go to the SunyaIAS website, and from there video courses you can purchase the course over there. The program will be offline also conducted in Delhi and other centers that will be notified very soon. So keep revising the current affairs because the questions from the static, particularly from the polity, economic and environment sections, are interlinked and intertwined with current affairs topics itself. So let's start how we are covering this top 50 rapid current affairs. By this time, I hope you understand how this course has been designed to suit the specific needs. That 50 topics, but it won't be random topics. These topics are very well organized in a manner that you develop an understanding with the sections that you are studying. Okay, in the 5 days we cover each month. So from the 21st to 25th January, in these 5 days, we are covering July. On the first day, economic development. On the second day, polity, governance and international relations. On the third day, environment. On the fourth day, science and technology. And on the fifth day, we are covering reports, indices, defense, art and culture, miscellaneous government schemes, etc. So let's start without a further ado. The paths to equal report has been released. The paths to equal reports. This kind of topic is super important for your prelims as well as mains examination, and reports become particularly important in prelims. Why? Which organization has released this report? UNDP, United Nations Development Program, and UN Women has released the paths to equal report. What are the other reports related to the women? The Gender Parity Index, Gender Inequality Index, okay, Gender Gap, okay, Gender Gap Index, Gender Parity Index. So Gender Gap Index is released by World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum. Gender Inequality Index is released by UNDP. Point is, students, to achieve the gender parity as per the World Economic Forum latest report, it would require 131 years as per the data right now. Okay, this has been the case that you would have definitely studied it in the background, you would be knowing about it. Let's talk about the paths to the equal report. It has provided brand new indices. So two brand new indices by such big organization becomes very important for the examination, UNDP and UN Women. First, we'll understand Global Gender Parity Index. What is Global Gender Parity Index? And then Women's Empowerment Index. Gender Parity Index, basically, students, it is about comparison. Comparing that to what extent on the following parameters, 4 parameters have been employed here, on the following 4 parameters, how women is perceived relative to men. How much, women feel at parity with respect to the men. This comparison would be there of this index, and therefore basically here some more parameters would be there. One more parameter is there, that women empowerment takes place. How the women solely perceive themselves, how much empowered do they feel about themselves without any relative comparison with the other gender, the male counterpart. So Global Gender Parity Index focuses, first thing is about health and life. Health and life. You can also relate it with Article 21, Second is about education. What are the educational levels of women? It is not just about the gross enrollment ratio, but also the dropout rates that are increasing. So education, it provides basically the skill to the women. Education is not just about the admissions, but how much skill and knowledge base is provided to the woman so that she can participate in the third parameter, which should be evaluating is labor force participation, or LFPR. Now this labor force participation or seeking the jobs, you can understand, this will provide her financial inclusion. financial inclusion or economic empowerment of women so that she can control her own agency. Then fourth is about making the decisions for herself. Decisions, decisions, her choices. What are the choices she wants? She can exercise them. This is about the gender parity. You can take the common life examples that the choice of today's women, most of the women I'm talking about, okay, 30-40% of women, not the very empowered women I'm talking, either they are taken mostly cared by their father, then their husband, then their children, but she is not empowered enough to take a call for her own self. Apart from that, now the second report, these four parameters are there in comparison with respect to men. Here into the women's empowerment index we add one more parameter. The parameter is about freedom from violence. Is about freedom from violence, that she can, exercise the freedom to that level that she can say that no violence. NCRB data says that how much the rape cases have been increased in India. Okay, and that too divorce filing are not getting to the brink that she is empowered enough. So freedom from violence is another important account. Similarly, we will find the parameters which World Economic Forum in the global gender gap utilizes is one important point is political empowerment of the women. Whereas if you draw the comparison with the UNDP and UN women indices, you will find that the freedom or the choices have been given due advantage or due importance than the political participation of the women. Next report is Global Peace Index 2023. Global Peace Index. India is a peaceful country. Okay. Just understand that India's rank is, 126 out of 163 countries. 126 of 163 countries. We are somewhere in the yellow color. Okay. In the middle of it. But students, we have our ranking from the past year has improved in the Global Peace Index, but we are still below the global average. You can write these facts. UPSC would give you in the question that India is at par with the global average with 126th rank in the Global Peace Index. No, we are below the global average, although we have criticized this report's outcomes. But India's rank has increased. This report is released by Institute for Economics and Peace. It evaluates the country's peace on three parameters. The first parameter is societal safety and security. Societal safety and security. Social capital, how much people trust each other. Second is ongoing domestic and international conflicts. Ongoing domestic and international conflicts. In that comparison, if we can compare it with Central Asia, West Asian countries, India is quite peaceful. The problems that we face with the skirmishes at the Pakistan border, Galwan, Chushul, skirmishes with Doklam issue with China. So two front situation is not that good, but otherwise India is a peaceful country. Militarization. Militarization means how much military is active into it. The money that we are spending on the armed forces, about the peace and security. So India's rank is 126. Most peaceful country, Nordic countries we understand, Iceland, most peaceful, accompanied by Denmark, Ireland, New Zealand and Austria. So if you want to settle there, you can go there, visit these countries. Afghanistan, least peaceful, Afghanistan. 8th consecutive year, because you know that Taliban takeover has been there. It will require Afghanistan peace process will require certain time. Although India's rank has improved since last year on the index, but still it is below the global average. Most improved, in which countries most improvement in the peace index happened? Kazakhstan, Oman, Cote d'Ivoire, okay, it was also in the news last year, Azerbaijan, Thailand. Most deteriorated in Ecuador, Equatorial Guinea, Sri Lanka, Haiti and Swatini. Sri Lanka, last time it defaulted on its debt, sovereign debt. Therefore, this problem was there. The next topic is, so it is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Fasal Bima means ensuring the crop, okay, against any kind of natural calamities, climate change is happening, erratic monsoon. Indian agriculture is so much dependent on the vagaries of the monsoon. So we need to ensure that the farmer gets adequate income in case of any unforeseen event happens. Okay, so unforeseen events happen for the agriculture. For that, Government of India has launched Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. You know, students, whenever insurance is there, some premium amount you have to pay. What are the amounts? 2% premium amount you have to pay for Kharif crop. Kharif crop. 1.5% for Rabi crop. This question has already been asked by UPSC. And 5% premium for horticultural crops. Horticultural crops. Okay. Now, with this crop, this is actually one of the most failed schemes of the government. But this failed scheme had one of the largest potential for succeeding in agriculture sector. Going forward is the industry of insurance and Bima. Basically, Bima means insurance. And in the agriculture sector, where a lot of wastage is happening because of the climate change, this can be a game changer. First of all, how the rates would be decided on the local cluster based approach, the rates of particular crop will be decided, and on the state by state basis it would be decided. So how much loss amount it will be paid? Previously there was a cap that maximum amount would be paid at this price, this much price would be paid as the total amount. Right now there is no capping on paying the insurance amount if the crop is lost. So students, for that, to make this scheme more and more effective, some changes, that is technology intervention we have done. A platform has been created. Into this platform, weather information and network data systems, winds portal has been incorporated in the Fasal Bima Yojana. Yes Tech, that is technology based yielding estimation system, manual. The problem with this scheme was, Fasal Bima Yojana was, how do we actually calculate the what could be the production into this particular land in this particular year against the claim by the farmers? How to calculate that? It was not in concurrence with the demand from the farmers and the calculations by the agencies. The third is IDE, app for intermediary enrollment mobile app. Intermediary enrollment mobile app, that yes, how you can enroll, the farmers can online digitally enroll into it. So these three will facilitate to calculate and reach to the congruence position. Now you need to understand that Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is there, but point is the beneficiary is not taking up the scheme. The farmers of India do not want to, insure their crops with these schemes, because first of all they are not sure that whether it be giving them the results, the scheme will be giving them the money in case of any crop loss or not. Second point is that it is mandatory. You use this word mandatory for the farmers who have taken any loan or who are using even Kisan credit card, any loan from the banks, whether it be agriculture infrastructure fund or anything they have taken. So if the farmer is taking a loan, then it is mandatory to get their crops insured. That would basically ensure that in case of any crop failure, they would be able to pay back their loans. So any loan taking farmers has to mandatorily insure their crops under the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Next is Bharat campaign. Bharat is banks heralding for accelerated rural and agriculture transformation under the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Agriculture Infrastructure Fund is managed by NABARD. Understand, students? In our agriculture, the basic problem is about infrastructure development. We have talked about infrastructure into the logistics sector, into the storage sector. Okay. The fund, long-term fund, will be provided by this Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. The Bharat campaign is about, asking, it's a campaign for collecting more than 7,200 crores rupees for agriculture infrastructure development across the banks, that the bank should be investing money through the money for the infrastructure development in the agriculture sector. Basically, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund managed by NABARD. Here, interest subvention is given. Interest subvention of 3% to the farmers. Subvention means if the farmer is able to pay back the installment amounts along with the interest on timely basis, then suppose if the interest was 6%, then the subvention of 3% would be provided, and the effective interest rate the farmer has to give is only 3%. corpus of otherwise agriculture infrastructure fund is so big, 1 lakh crores rupees. And infrastructure, I'm not talking about the consumption by the farmers. The question in the prelims examination, UPSC prelims examination, was about which of the following is called as public investment. Infrastructure is a kind of investment which gives you return on the investment. It is not for the consumption. So provision of interest subvention of 3% per annum is there. A moratorium for repayment from 6 months up to 2 years is also there. For example, for the 6 months, a farmer will say that now the infrastructure that I'm creating is not remunerative for me. I will be able to pay after 1 year. Up to 2 years, the moratorium has been provided. Scheme is implemented from 2020 itself by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. India-France Maritime Partnership Exercise. So India-France, you understand, we have also studied about the Horizon Framework 2047 with India and France. Basically, Indian naval ships INS Rana and INS Sumedha undertook a maritime partnership exercise with French Navy ships, okay, in the Bay of Bengal. What are the other exercises with France? Varuna naval exercise, Pinjex military exercise, and Garuna Air Force exercise. Garuna Air Force exercise, Varuna naval exercise. Remember this, which forces are participating. See, the military exercises particularly with US, with France, with Russia, and with the neighboring countries like Japan, Australia, extended neighborhood I'm talking about, Sri Lanka, that are most important. Otherwise also you can, remember that. INS Rana, a guided missile destroyer. INS Rana, a guided missile destroyer, and INS Sumedha, we are description, an indigenously built offshore patrol vessel, were from the Indian Navy side. Similarly, GIMEX 2023 11th edition, since 2012 we are having this exercise, bilateral Japan-India maritime exercise, took place off at Vishakhapatnam. Vishakhapatnam, very important, Other exercises between India and Japan, that India-Japan part of Quad and Malabar exercise. India, Japan with United States and Australia participate in the naval exercise, Malabar exercise. Shinyu Maitri with Air Force, both the Air Force participate with the Japan. Therma Guardian military exercise, tri-military exercise it is there. World Coin Project. You understand that what is a World Coin Project? We have talked about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, okay, algorithmic value of the Bitcoins. Basically, it is about, it works on the rarity, how much rare it is or how much unique it is. Every individual's biometric is unique. Into that, we have iris scan. Iris scan of each and every human being is different, iris scan. So that can provide us this kind of rarity. So there is a World Coin Project. This World Coin Project is an iris biometric cryptocurrencies. So uniqueness, your uniqueness or your rarity will provide this a biometric cryptocurrency project developed by San Francisco and Berlin based Tools for Humanity, so that each one of us can have a cryptocurrency. This venture runs on a simple model: allow your eyes to be scanned in order to prove your human uniqueness, and receive some crypto and an ID called World ID in the exchange. Like Aadhaar card right now we are making. See how these things are evolving. US has its own security number. India is interlinking its Aadhaar card with the birth certificate, death certificate, digital certificates, okay, government beneficiaries. Now this new world is emerging altogether into this metaverse, into these NFTs. They are making a global ID on that level using a device called Orb. Orb is a device like this, okay. Orb, WorldCoin volunteers known as Orb operators. Even in your desktop you can have this. Scan a person's iris pattern to collect their biometric data and help them get a World ID through the World app. There is an app, World app. Point is, students, the bigger point is about the safety and security of the data that you are providing. If we are giving the scan of iris, what does that mean? That this data, if leaked on the dark web, what it could possess for your financial security. It was founded back in 2019 by the OpenAI chief executive Sam Altman, Max Novendestin. Sam Altman, resigned, then again came back, okay, and Alex Blania. So you can get, basically you can schedule a visit and get your eyes scanned from there itself. So just understand what is WorldCoin project. It is related to the biometric cryptocurrency based on the iris scan of each and every individual. You can join the current affairs crash course for better understanding, deeper understanding and wider coverage of your current affairs with proper PYQ analysis throughout the course. The course would be offline soon, and you can join. The course is already live on the Sunya IAS website. So thank you guys. Let's meet next week.